Morning guys, welcome back. As you can probably hear from the noisy aerator, I'm back down at the park lake close to my house. If you've seen my previous videos, I tried to have a pre-baiting session down here just after coronavirus was lifted and a fishing ban was implied. So I'm back down here again. I'm going to be concentrating now on this lake for the next week, maybe two. Come down in the evenings after work, couple of mornings, see how we get on. Alright guys, quick update for you. Nothing to report so far. I've been popping down for a couple of quick sessions in the evenings after work. Now by quick I mean literally a couple of hours, 2 hours, just flick the rods out, hope for the best really. Just trying to fit in what fishing I can within the time period that I have available. As I say, nothing yet, but probably see from the bivvy. I've got the day off work, so I decided to come down the park and just smash out a whole day down here. Hopefully my luck will change. Obviously there's been a lot of change in the weather recently. Now we all know that can play a big part on the fish and how they act and how they feed. So I'm at the other end of the island, the main body of water as opposed to the channel, and that's because of obviously the cloud cover. There's an island right in the middle which I think that the fish actually congregate around and sort of probably feed from. Now the park's not fished very often. There's only a couple of locals that fish it, so not a lot of bait goes into this lake, so they will be feeding on the naturals. So I've been throwing in a few boilies over the past couple of visits. Bit of a selection. I've got some pellet 12 and 15 mil out there, and then obviously I've got my hook baits in the middle and to the end of the spots. So I will run you through my setup today and how I approach the park, and we'll see how we get on. Right, just going to quickly run you through my setup because there is nothing whatsoever happening out there. So just a quick minute. And this is my approach to park lakes and how I fish them. Reason being is you never know what you're fishing over. If I come down for a couple of hours, I don't want to be searching for a spot and sort of disturbing the swim, so I'll cast to show and fish. So I want to go in with sort of reasonable, well, as less disturbance as possible. So in order to do that, I use a lead core helicopter rig. Reason being, if I do cast out and I am over silt or over weed, I want to make sure that my rig is presented at all times. Now with the helicopter, as you well know, does come with the no trace bead. So if I do get snagged up or if I do crack off, then that can break free. Then the rig can slide off and then the carp's not sort of tethered to the bottom of the lake. Now on my setup, because I only use little stalking rods, I use a little 1.5 flat pair. Again, if I'm casting into silt, I don't want a big heavy lump of lead going digging right in and sort of getting wedged in. Now on my rig side of things, all I do, these come out the packet with a swivel on. I don't know if you can see that, but I just change that to a heli quick rig or quick clip, and then obviously slide your anti-tangle up. Now on my sort of business end, it's just a hair rig with a bit of tubing, slide over to keep the bait opposite the hook point. A break there in the coating, and I use a double dumbbell sort of pellet. Now every time I use a double bait as such, or if I'm using a snowman, then if you see in there, I slide onto the line one of the float stops, little rubber gummy float stop, and that just keeps everything all sort of wedged in tight, but more importantly it keeps it away from the hook, so that hook can still turn and do what it needs to do to get a hold. Right, I think rain's coming now, so time to get back in the bivvy. Right, I'm now 5 hours into my day session down the park, and something was telling me to check my bait. I don't know what it was, like a little sign, little inkling, check your bait. So I brought the rods in, and it's a good job I did, to be honest, because, well, I think the crayfish have been at me. So this was my snowman rig. As you can see, the bottom bait, which was a 15mm CC more bait, is completely gone, and I don't know if you can make out the top bait, the pop-up, that is completely chewed to bits with all sorts of gouges and everything out of it. And then the second rod, well, this was once the double dumbbell, and it's now just a hair rig. So obviously I would assume I'll put it down to crayfish. Guys, I finally got one. It's taken all day. It's now sort of 5 o'clock. Coots were in the swim, going down. They picked up my bait a few times, and then all of a sudden it's screened off. The rod is absolutely melted off, straight into a snag. Got me snagged up, got me stuck. I left pressure on it and everything, but nothing was doing. So I gave it some slack, put it back on the rod rest. The alarm screamed off again, and I've got it in. Absolute chunk this is. Look. Nope. Look. And there. Oh. Beautiful. This is exactly what I was coming for. Nice. Just have a look at the other side. Come on. I'll show you the other side. This is. There we go. Right. Finally got it. Right, gonna give it away. Right. I'm just gonna revive him in the net for a minute. Let him have a breather before we let him go. Oh, I think he's ready to go already. So right. Off you go, matey. See you again. Come on. Yes. Wow. Just wow. That was epic. I am over the moon. So gassed. Been a tough day. Obviously crayfish, taking the bait. Coots diving down on the bait, picking up my hook bait, giving me false alarms, and been a bit of a tough day. Then I changed from snowman rig to just a 12mm pop-up, washed out pink, sticky, signature I think they are, just on its own. Pop that back on the spot. It's gone. It's screamed off. Straight into a snag that I'm sort of just fishing right next to. Snagged me up. I'm about 50 meters behind the bivvy trying trying to put pressure on, but wasn't having none of it. Now I've got micro barbed hooks on, so that's obviously played to my advantage. So I've put the rod down on the rod rest, let the clutch off, and then 2-3 minutes it's just screamed off again, but luckily it's gone to the center of the lake, so perfect. Managed to pull it in on the 8-foot stalking rods. So happy, so happy. I've got both rods now back out on the spot. If nothing happens, don't care, I'm over the moon. So I'll probably leave this here. If anything does happen, then I'll pop it on. Cheers guys.